The 3 flowers for this set are made have one thing in common. They all have the same middle part of it, a button and a layer of clones knot stitches around it. Only one flower has 2 layers, the extra layer of clones knot stitches, and the other 2 has petals. So I'm showing in this video how to make the middle part of these flowers. So to make any of those flowers you have to make a button and then we will start making clones knot stitches around it. To make first clone knot stitch, make a chain 4 or 5 stitches and make a first clone knot stitch. Skip few stitches on the edge, on the round. I always skip 2 or 3, depends how long is my stitch. Make sure that the last stitch you connected with slip stitch. You make sure that the stitch is tight. Make next chain 2, 3, 4, 5 and make next clone knot stitch. And continue. And you still can put in here 2 more stitches. I never count how many stitches I can put in there. It all depends how tight you crochet, how big is your button. Normally you can fit in here in the first row in the first layer 7 clone knot stitches, sometimes 6. Again, it all depends how tight you crochet and the size of the thread, of course, the size of the hook, everything I have to take into consideration. So this time I will just connect it just in the middle, whatever is left here, and I'm ready to make one more stitch. One more, and I'll insert this hook into the place where the first clone knot stitch begins, tie this all together, and here I have a button or bud of a flower, and based on this middle part of it you can crochet the rest of the flowers. I also am going to show you how I decorate the edges of the button. So before you start working with the next thread, you always want to cut long enough tail of thread and weave in the end into the button. Long enough that your work will not unravel. Now I will show you how I made this area right here, how I decorate this flower, the button, because I also have the same decoration for this flower. You can use contrast color. Here I'm using mocha. You can use also metallic thread. So every time you add new thread, new color, first you have to insert this into a needle and always insert it into the body of the motif on the back and sew a long enough tail. That way later you don't have to weave in, you're doing it right away. And why I always tell to insert to weave in long tail, because you don't have to worry about later about your work to be unraveled, which can happen with any thread. Okay, so leaving the thread behind your work, insert the hook into the front, right in here, of the flower, from front to back. This is where your thread is, and pick up thread with the hook and pull it through this area in the front, pull it to the front, have a stitch on the hook. Again, insert the hook into the body of the flower, grab the thread on the back and pull it through. it's not going anywhere, you have to try to do it one more time. I have to undo it, all of it. Again, let's try it again. And insert step by step, go into I'm inserting my thread hook into the edge of a button. So you insert it in the flower and bring this stitch in, here it is, and pull it through the other stitch also. It's like you're making slip stitches all around the button. And we came to the last place where the first stitch was. Insert the hook right into the beginning of it, grab the thread and bring it out. Pull on this thread, cut the piece of it and pull the thread totally out to the front of the flower. Then again insert the end of the thread into a needle and pull the thread with the needle back again to the back. Make sure not to make it very tight in here, and weave this end into the flower. So here it is, how it will look like.